Welcome back to Old News. In today's history lesson, we step back into 1988, a year that stitched together a tapestry of pivotal political changes, scientific milestones, and cultural phenomena. In a historic event signaling the thawing of the Cold War, the Soviet Union began its troop withdrawal from Afghanistan in May, ending a 9-year-long military occupation. This withdrawal marked a turning point in Soviet foreign policy and was a significant step towards the eventual dissolution of the Soviet Union. And the Iran-Iraq War, a prolonged and devastating conflict that began in 1980, finally came to an end in August. This ceasefire, mediated by the United Nations, concluded one of the 20th century's deadliest wars, leaving both nations deeply scarred and setting the stage for future conflicts in the region. In November, the PLO proclaimed the establishment of the State of Palestine. This declaration of independence by Yasser Arafat in Algiers, Algeria, did not lead to actual sovereignty over territory, but was a symbolic step towards establishing a Palestinian state. It recognized the 1967 borders prior to the Six-Day War, implicitly acknowledging the State of Israel, and aimed to gain international support for Palestinian statehood. The Palestinian Declaration of Independence received recognition from over 100 countries, enhancing the PLO's international standing and leading to increased diplomatic engagement. However, the United States and Israel did not recognize the declaration, and the conflict's fundamental issues remained unresolved. The 1988 United States presidential election was a defining political contest that resulted in the election of George H.W. Bush as the 41st president. Bush, the Republican nominee and incumbent vice president under Ronald Reagan, ran against the Democratic nominee, Massachusetts Governor Michael Dukakis. Bush's campaign capitalized on the economic successes of the Reagan era and promised to continue similar policies, emphasizing a strong defense and conservative fiscal management. His famous pledge, "Read my lips, no new taxes," became a cornerstone of his campaign, appealing to fiscal conservatives and many Americans wary of tax increases. The campaign was also marked by aggressive political strategies, including the notable Willie Horton advertisement, which was criticized for its racial undertones and remains a controversial example of campaign tactics. Michael Dukakis, presenting a contrast to Bush's vision, focused on economic inequality, social justice, and environmental concerns. Despite a strong start, Dukakis's campaign struggled to counter Bush's narrative and faced setbacks, particularly following the infamous tank photo op, which was widely mocked and undermined his image. Bush won a decisive victory, securing 426 electoral votes to Dukakis's 111. The results reflected a continuation of the conservative wave in American politics, with Bush promising a kinder, gentler nation while maintaining the core policies of the Reagan administration. In the realm of science and technology, NASA's Space Shuttle program continued with Discovery and its successful mission in September. The first since the Challenger disaster in '86, it marked a renewed era in space exploration, restoring confidence in the program, and with the emergence of the Internet was also the first major computer virus, the Morris worm. This self-replicating program, released unintentionally, infected thousands of computers, demonstrating the vulnerabilities in networked systems and the emerging importance of cybersecurity. In pop culture, Michael Jackson's Bad World Tour, which began in 1987, continued through 1988, becoming one of the most successful tours in history and solidifying Jackson's status as a global pop icon. In cinema, Rain Man starring Dustin Hoffman and Tom Cruise, was released. The movie's sensitive portrayal of an autistic savant won critical acclaim and several Academy Awards, including Best Picture, raising public awareness and understanding of autism. The year 1988 also saw a significant leap in environmental consciousness with the discovery of the destruction of the ozone layer over Antarctica reaching alarming levels. This revelation spurred international action and highlighted the urgent need for global environmental policies. In sports, the 1988 Summer Olympics in Seoul, Korea, were a showcase of global unity and athletic prowess. Notable for their political backdrop, with the participation of the Soviet Union and the debut of table tennis, the Games were a celebration of international sportsmanship and competition. This has been old news, a year in review. In the words of Winston Churchill, those that fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Join us as we turn the page to 1989